Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai. Suppose you just met me. Suppose you just met me and I ask you, friend, can you help me? Can you help me? I can't seem to find my head. I can't seem to find my head. Can you please show me where it is? Then what would you say? What is your answer?
Bang it on the wall.
Yeah.
Bang it on the wall.
I can't see it. Some feelings are arising. But how can I be sure it is my head?
In a mirror, yeah.
But how do I know this mirror is telling the truth? It could just be an idea. It could just be a prediction, a dream.
Okay, you don't have it.
So you're going down that no self path. Maybe I've said that. What would you say?
I can't show you.
Huh?
I would say I can't show you.
Can't show?
After what you said.
What else? How many would say, but just look, look. You're feeling shy to say that.
Let's go somewhere else, even I can't find that. Oh, brilliant.
The wrong crowd. So you know what I'm getting at. Where did you lose yourself that you are trying to find? And what else can I say? Fundamentally accept, but you are it. You are here. You are present. And you are aware of this presence. What is lost? What is yet to be found? Now, if you believed over a long period of time that you have lost your head, then it can seem like this simple answer, it doesn't help. If you have believed for a long time, that you have lost the self and you are now a seeker of the self, what are you seeking? The self. Self-realization. We are on the search for self-realization. It makes us a seeker of the self. So if you have believed yourself to be a seeker of the self for so long, then it can seem like the obvious answer can't be it. I couldn't have been that silly that I looked for something which was so obvious for so long. It's a fear of seeming stupid to ourselves. Much of the time, the spiritual seeker continues to get believed in because we feel like this can't be it. What are you saying? I have always been the self? Yes. What is that you have always been? This simple question is enough actually. What did not come and will not go? What is that you have always been? Tell me something. You've always been something or no?
Myself.
Yourself. So simple. Even English is so beautifully designed. In India, we can become very proud about Sanskrit, which is, of course, very beautiful. But even English, how to be at peace, don't mind. A beautiful language. What have you always been? Myself. What are you looking for? Myself. But you have always been that. Yeah. Now comes the battle of the buts. But. And most of what is spoken in Satsang is to just deal with these doubts. But this. And much of the but is about, but I was promised this. If I was to get self-realization, I was promised a lot of superpowers, materialization, no sleep required, an untiring body, unlimited amount of money. I could manifest as much money as I would like. This trunk is there, just full of $1 million every time. And we believed all this about something so simple as the self. We've got caught up in the story of the perks, the byproducts. And in that story of the byproducts, the naturalness of what we just are gets missed away. And even if we don't believe the superpowers, at least we feel like at least the quality of my feeling should change. Otherwise, what was the point of me finding myself? But to find yourself, do you need a point? To that which is so fundamental.
Well, isn't it though the end of suffering?
Yes. But what I'm saying is that if but for that part, what can happen is that expectation also, the subtlest one, because even this we heard in this satsang also, that as you find yourself, that will be the end of suffering. But that itself becomes the cause of perpetuated suffering, that expectation. Many times it has happened.
But it's often what brings people to this.
Yes, that's why these days I call it the marketing department.
Yeah. It's a selling point.
But actually, it is not that you will stop suffering. You will see that what you truly are cannot suffer. It's an important distinction. Because one is speaking qualitatively about an appearance. The second is speaking from the recognition of what you truly are. Once you see that you are subtler than the subtlest, the subtler the space in this room, you are subtler than time. What can hurt time? Can time suffer? What can make time suffer? What can make space suffer? So you come to your end of suffering by realizing that you are that in which time and space take birth. What can make you suffer? It is not that this body, which is part of this play, part of this appearance, will never shed a tear after this. It's not about that. Grief can still come. But what are you identifying yourself with? The movie can still have all of its sugar and spice. But who are you? Are you the screen? Are you the light of the projector? Who are you in this movie right now? Who is perceiving these words? That's why sometimes I say, you don't have to hold on to yourself. In fact, you could never leave it, even if you tried. You see, that's why Maya had to be so beautifully designed, to be so compelling. If you had to play as something limited, but you are beyond all the states. Sleep state comes, you are still there. Dream state comes, you are still there. Waking state comes, you are still there. In the deepest meditation, Turiya, you are still there. Breath might have stopped. Body functions might have stopped. The world might seem to cease to exist. But you are still there. How will you get rid of yourself? This is the trouble. Yeah. Cannot lose yourself. And I say, no, try for a moment, don't be the self. And just keep yourself aside. Nobody can ever do it. What wave can you produce so that the ocean bed itself vanishes? More than you can ever imagine looking for is already what you are. And you want the report card from what? From your feelings, from your thoughts. Is my report card enough or no? That self which you can find, which is not here already, does not exist. If it is a becoming that is needed, it is not the truth. In these trillions of sensations, all perceptions, you have focused on just some of them and given them the name me. So remove this concept of me, the limited I. What is your reality right now? Who are you?
I'd say that.
Very good. Can't say is very good. Can't say, don't know. This is very good. Because we are discarding that older tool of knowing, which is the mind, conceptual knowing. We don't mind in this way because we are finding that it cannot even answer the most fundamental question about who I am with any integrity. Now the problem sometimes becomes you have considered yourself to be a glass, a cup, and you feel like one day what will happen in your freedom is that the cup will contain the ocean. You see? So when I say that you are all there is, you're just looking at the body and saying, I'm not yet all there is. What do you mean? You see? The reference points can continue to feel like the cup. You see? And again, it can be, okay, what is the experiences of the cup? But this cup will never contain the ocean. It is always the ocean in which the cup is occurring. And this is, the good news is that it is your experience already. So you don't have to change the quality of your experience. Guruji also said the other day, it is only ever the interpretation, interpretation, which is the problem. Suppose just as a game, you don't buy the concept for a few minutes about the limited me. Just like a game. Anyway, it's not going anywhere. Then you're not defining yourself in any way for just a couple of minutes. You're not agreeing that anything is your boundary. No visualization also needed about anything. You see, because some of you will start to visualize yourself as expanding through the body. Something, none of that is needed. Something much simpler. No creativity, no visualization, just not buying into the idea of the limited me, of being contained in anything. Do you get used to this? You have no start point, no ending. Nothing that you know mentally matters for just a few minutes. It doesn't matter whether you're getting this or not. No effort, nothing. If joy is coming, doesn't matter. If aversion is coming, doesn't matter. Don't have to hold on to this state. Don't have to let go of it also. Nothing. Nothing is coming or going. Is something happening to you? Yes and no. No, because fundamentally you have always just been this empty of limitation. Yes, in the play of these appearances, it can look like, it can feel like something is changing in terms of the belief in that limitation, the belief in the identity. And the mind will come and say, but this is okay when I'm sitting in the satsang hall, but can I have a life like this? Life can go on completely fine. Most of your actions are already happening without picking up the notion of the me act. We nod our head, hands move. Words also arise on their own. You don't have to do or not do. Just like you're neither doing nor not doing your breath.
So nothing is evil, Father. It's just a series of sensations. Thoughts can be let go of. Sensations, I can't push a sensation. Sensations stay. They come and go of their own accord. But thoughts are something that come that you can kind of let go of. And they vanish the minute you.
But even that letting go means we're not concerned anymore.
Yeah. But what I've noticed, Father, is that when you let go of it, it just kind of almost dissolves away.
Actually, with thoughts, even the opposite is true. In the sense, when you say, okay, tell me what you know.
Right.
You say, bring it on. Okay, Mr. Mind, I just want to listen to you. What you know. And then also when it comes, it just vanishes.
But in a way, that's correct. Because
it needs that little bit of
openness.
half-drunk state. Yeah. Fully drunk, then your God drunk, it vanishes. Completely attentive, okay, what you want, again it seems to vanish. This little thing, half hypnotized.
So, Father,
okay, I'm not
Father,
advising
repeat.
drinking wine.
Father, repeat. There was a disturbance.
I said that one of the natures of the mind is that when you're fully attentive to it also, it seems to reduce or vanish. And when you're let go also, it seems to vanish. It's in this middle sort of half-attentive state where it seems to really have its say, you see. What would I say? And then I said, I'm not advising anyone to, because I said half drunk is when you really pay a lot of attention to the mind. So I'm not advising anyone to get fully drunk. I'm not talking about phenomenal spirits here. Yeah.
So,
So, Father, this kind of a dazed state in which, like, nothing registers. Uh, so, what is that kind of a state? It is not attentiveness at all.
Yes. Just wait. We'll look at that in a minute. He's just finishing his question.
so if I remove any label, even from sound, your voice, even from language, or body label, it's just a set of sensations. It's nothing else. And there is no, and yet it's so clear I'm aware of those sensations. I'm not the sensations. I don't know what the questions are.
If you call everything sensation, all that is perceived, if you just call it a sensation, and we don't make any set of sensations into a me, then all of this is one big ocean of sensation or soup of sensation, whatever you call it, just going up and down on its own, in its own movement. Now, is there any experience or any sensation when you don't exist? When your being doesn't seem to be palpably present?
So in deep sleep, there is no sensation. So, okay, then this sensation, which I call the body sensation or whatever, the world sensation, it's just a being. Or what, I mean, if I remove it, because the sensation's there.
Yes. But if you don't call any sensation anything, there is any trouble?
No. It's just beautiful. It's just this movement of energy.
So
What
now,
is this?
so that is that. What is this is a call for a label,
Okay.
isn't it?
Fair.
So suppose I give you a label like God.
Right. No, fair.
Yeah, because many times we do need some label. So we can say God or being, existence, whatever appeals to you. Is there one perceiver of all sensations, or are there two, or three, or multiple?
It's one. There's no two. There's no other.
Now, can you become just one of these sensations? And not be any of the others?
I put attention on one sensation,
Yes.
that seems to get amplified. The others tend to get away.
Yes. And can you become that?
No.
It is still an object of your perception.
Yes, but I don't know if it is far away from me. I
Yes.
don't know what, I mean, it almost seems like it's part of me in a
Yes.
sense.
Even this space,
Space is
like the concept of distance, yes.
Space is somehow is an imagination on some level.
Now, if that space is an imagination, then what about that which is appearing in space?
It's all comes and goes.
If all of this is contained in space, and it is contained in that which is imagined, then all of this itself must be also imagined.
It is, because when I remove all label color, then even this sense of my foot touching the ground, there's no proof of the foot touching the ground.
Yes.
I mean, the mind tells me the foot is touching the ground, but that's just a thought that's believed based on some visual.
The sensations of contact seem to be there,
Yes.
but it seems like in the design of this play, all these various sensational things like the visual things, the sensory things, they seem to collaborate to give us this impression that there is a actual physical space around us in which we are contained. But truly you cannot find yourself located anywhere. You can find the location of one body. It seems very intimate in its sensations to you. But who experiences the sensations that we call the body? Is that itself also a sensation? Can any sensation hurt it, affect it in any way?
No. And even if a butt comes,
Yeah.
that's also visible.
Yes.
And I can choose, like right now the butt's coming, but I can choose to say, okay, you know what, I don't want to pick it up. I don't need to pick up the butt, and without the butt, nothing is happening to that which knows the butt.
And if you pick up the bud,
Still nothing happens.
yes, that's important.
Still nothing happens. And in a way, like, I mean,
And yet we can presume that something does when we believe it. Is it?
yes, but in an instant that can be dropped.
Yes,
Just like that, because it's not
your reality.
yeah. I think it's just so many concepts that we believed that's
Now this conversation is going on. How many of you have to pick up a me to hear it? The perception of hearing is continuing, whether you pick up the notion of yourself being limited or not. So all that we call my actions also are this way. These words are just arising and they are being heard in the same way as the hearing is happening. Just another set of sensations.
You told now the also imagine that imagination also arises.
Yes,
It is not created by anybody.
yes, yes. Another, if you say everything
We
that
are
is
not imagining,
yes.
it comes.
No, if you were to know how to imagine, then you could do it. But you don't even know how to imagine.
You can't do it being.
There is nobody there. That non-existent one obviously does not do anything at all. Does not know how to do anything. And just the presumption, I am moving my hand, I am speaking these words for a limited eye. It's just been presumed. Some question. I know the audio still might be bad today, but We've got confirmation that we will have the new internet in a day or two. Just, is it that bad today also? Okay, patchy, yeah. Just another couple of days. Okay, Anil, your question is still alive? You can type yes or no and then we will see. Yeah.
Some chats.
Oh, there are some chats, but I'm not getting any chat. How is that? Oh, I see. How come? I have no chat in my window. Okay, so let me read some.
Maybe earlier couple may have been talking about chasing.
Okay, Vidya is father. So does this mean that full attention to the mind is the inquiry and no attention or dropping the mind is surrender? Full attention to the mind is what the Buddhists would call mindfulness. Being completely attentive to everything that is arising. And just allowing it to come and go, not with the sense of pushing it away or dealing with it in any way. Just the simple letting go is surrender, yes. Beloved Father, perceiver vanishes. Very good. Then Amandeep says, to interpret it in a certain way, we have to pick up a me. Is this correct? The picking up of the interpretation, in the picking up of the interpretation, the me is inherent. We can put it that way. It's like a combination process. It's not separate in that way. You see, in most interpretations, you will find the me. New one, Father, new mic. No, we're getting new internet. I heard that the internet is causing a lot of the audio trouble because we moved to the new Satsang hall. So since you come here, the internet has not been so good. So we got a new internet connection which will get us a wire right till here, so we can use that. Yeah, I'm not getting any of this chat. Attendees to chat with everyone. There's also this option to allow attendees to chat with host only. It might be a good option actually.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see tomorrow with. You can just keep it here. Sir. Or you won't need it for something?
No.
Yeah, it's okay. I need to write down. And he says, "You are tricking me into your love, drowning and killing the questioner father." Well, I've been trying for a couple of years. Something beautiful that Yogi Ram Surat Kumarji said once. He said, if God is what you want, why you even accept the possibility of the existence of anything else? So he didn't say it so complicated. That's how it's coming up with full apologies to you. It's very powerful because you might feel like I need to pick up this existence of a limited me, a separate me, or something. Then you start to see that actually that which is takes care of itself completely. There is no reason, if freedom is what you want, to actually pick up this notional identity.
So next I in this that I'm getting stuck.
Yes.
I'd like if you could speak some more.
Of course.
Like it came up yesterday once I listened to the because you're speaking was thinking that like that all boundaries are sensations. It's not so clear now, but it's something like that. The question was coming very strong for that. It's hard for me to say it clearly, but I think you know that why is there this experience of sensation that clearly seems to be something about this body, and I experience this sensation through this body, but no other bodies, and yet there's one perceiver, and I think that is interpretation coming in, but still it's very tight, and if you speak on it some more, yes.
So at least that much we have to start by admitting that the idea that there is sensation in another body is a presumption for us. From our experience, it is not true, isn't it? You cannot even actually say for certain that any other body exists, isn't it?
My mind is getting very.
It's okay. We can be a bit resistant to these things because these are just completely opposite of what the mind tries to tell us, isn't it? So when these things come up or they are spoken in satsang, there's bound to be some natural, this is it's natural for it to be there. And you can tell me when to stop. So I don't want to also push it too much, so you can tell me. So, like Maharaj said very beautifully, all you can say is I am. You can never really say you are. Okay? Yeah. Also, we've had other experiences where there seem to be others, but there aren't any, like in a dream. Is it? Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi was asked this question. Now that I see the truth about myself, how do I deal with others? He said, there are no others. So, what you are perceiving is the entirety of the universe for you. Everything else is a presumption, is an interpretation. is a must be. See? And even this worldly play of satsang relies on this must be. Even what I'm sharing with you relies on this must be. There must be somebody there listening to all of this. This is the play of the world. So, although you can hear a report from me, there's a sensation of pain in my arm. You see? And sometimes on hearing that, you might even experience it actually. But you can never say that something exists unless it is an experience of it. And not only us in satsang like this, but also in physics, they are grappling with the same problem. That something really exists without the experience of it. Is there a Schrodinger's cat when there is no observer of the cat? Now, what is more important is that in all of these sensations, where do I draw a boundary of me? Because right now also, it is not just your body that you are experiencing. You're hearing these words. So how come these words are not your words? How come they are Ananta's words? See? That is because we have been taught that way. That what seemingly comes from this mouth which seems so intimate to us. This is me, mine. See? But a baby does not have this. So we can look at the ways in which we draw this boundary, and we find that we can take a visual and interpret it as a separate one, but actually appearance is one. See? When I look at the visual and saying, I'm having one experience, one appearance, but within that I'm taking a mental line and saying, in that this is me, but the rest of it is not. See? This is something that is not original to us. It is not natural to us. It is taught. It is conditioned. And we have been taught to believe this. This is your hand, move your hand like this, move your feet, these are your feet. Children, haven't we done with them? Where's your mouth? Here. Well, initially when you're trying to teach them, they're just like, here. They're just anywhere. Initially, where's your mouth? There's your head. Did Papa do this? You won't remember, but you must have done. It's a very popular thing. Where's your head? Show me your hair. Where is my hair? Like that. So we learned it. Actually, we are experiencing only one appearance. But within that, we've taken some sensations and called it a me. We've taken this body and said this body is what I am. But actually, when we stay with just what we are experiencing, all these sensational boundaries are just mental. This is what I mean when we say we drop the notion I am the body. When we see this naturally, I am, is. Now, experientially, nothing has to change. Because sometimes on hearing this, you can feel like, oh, Ananta is having a different experience from what I'm having. It is not true. This body is still visible. The sensations in this body still can feel quite intimate. You see? But it is not about that. I'm just seeing that there is no reason to single out a set of sensations and call that a me. And, be in denial of the other sensation and call that other. The me and other has no sanctity actually. It's just that.
Yeah, I know it's the part that I was having trouble with is that like you can speak, I can hear you and see you Ananta and hear you speak of sensations that you would experience in your body, yet, or like the only sensations I can have of Ananta are what I can see and hear. But there is sensations that are understood to be bodily through this body only. And that was the part.
It's a bit, I know what you're saying completely, but you know what happens? I take this example. If you're in your car, you're driving, and the cyclist in front of you has a fall, you also go out.
Yeah.
You see? So So this is a bit more malleable than what we are believing it to be.
That's
It
what
is
I'm
a bit more,
wondering actually.
yeah, it
Is
is a
it
bit.
like because consciousness has contracted somehow
Ah,
to experience it?
I won't really say that, but you could say that it is playing in that concept of that play of believing itself in the entire computer game. It is believing itself to be just the James Bond character.
Mhm.
See? The computer game is one. The narrator is saying, Mr. Bond, this is your next mission. And then, therefore, that which is beyond this entire game is believing itself to be just that. You see? But actually, it is the same light in which the entire game is there. So it can be that as consciousness is dropping this limitation, it can also start to play with or to experience the play of sensations from that which was seeming like other bodies. But that is no benchmark to anything at all. You see? But you will find that this can happen. You see, so many other things have happened like this. A son is in distress and a mother feels something in her heart. You see? So clearly, there's this one being in which all this seeming play of sensations is happening. You see? Two subatomic particles are kept together, and they form a relationship with each other, and they could be sent to two different parts of the universe. You see? But the property of one changes, the other immediately changes, faster than the speed of light, which is supposed to be the fastest speed, instantaneous. So even in this outward way, this oneness is now starting to get reflected. Now, nothing that you can say is your experience is outside your existence, isn't it? Now, we won't worry so quickly about whether it actually exists and you just don't have the experience of it, or it actually doesn't exist. Let's not worry about that for some time. But let's find out whether this being in which all these experiences are happening, that has any definition, any boundary. Even the sense of distance that you might be perceiving is outside you or inside you. Even this noise from the street and the distance which seems to be there between that and you is also contained within you. That's why it comes to a point where sages say instead of waking state and dream state, they start saying waking dream and dreaming dream. Because what they can truly confirm is what they are experiencing. Everything else is just a presumption of motion added around top. And in this experience, you will find that every sensation, every boundary is contained within you. You are not contained within them. Can you play with this a while and see? So what would you feel could contain you?
Nothing except when I forget I stay myself in the body.
Yes, nothing when we pick up the notion that I am this body. But even when we pick up the notion, we are not contained.
Yeah.
The reality remains unchanged. It is just the false notion that we are dropping. That's why Bhagavan's statement is pure brilliance. It sounds so simple actually. He said true knowledge is nothing but the dropping of ignorance. So when we drop the false, the truth is completely apparent. The truth does not need work. The truth does not even need remembering. You see. Because then again, if we have to remember it, it becomes conceptual.
Yes.
So the only reminding that happens in satsang is to drop the faults.
Yeah, I see there's impatience in me. It's like when, like during that, I was enjoying it, but this feeling of my appetite's coming back. So I wonder who is.
Oh yeah.
I kept thinking about it. And so that obviously brought me into a limited experience again of the body.
Yeah, but the good thing is in this kind of inquiry, anything that is coming up, you see, hunger,
Yeah.
and you can see hunger so strong. Say, if there is even a little bit of attention to say, okay, where is this hunger arising? Instead of that, you can say, oh, okay, hunger. Where is that? Let's use that also to in our longing, in our longing for the truth of what we are. In that way, nothing remains an obstacle. Everything becomes opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was doing my best to do it, but it seemed to keep bringing me to the body. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be seen as.
It's bringing you to a set of sensations.
Yeah, it's just.
The body is just the label,
Yeah.
and we don't have to resist any experience of any sensations at all.
Yeah.
But you're right that, especially in satsang like ours, we can pick up this idea that it must be like now I must stay like that can become another trick from me.
Yeah.
So sometimes I can say, but now, and sometimes okay, you're not going anywhere. You know how that is, right? It can sound very contradictory, but because what we're aiming for is unity. See? Sometimes when I find you veering too much to the left, I find you veering too much to the right, I come this side. So either I'll say, nothing to do. Oh, come on, you can do it now. And both can sound contradictory. It all depends on in the. You see what I'm saying? So one day, like yesterday, I was saying now. But that is not to give the mind any opportunity at all. And today I can say, we can be relaxed about it.
Yes. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's the wanting for a state.
Yeah.
The wanting of a certain state. Because I was enjoying a certain state, and then if something is intruding on that, then feel that some.
Yes. Like I was saying yesterday, you'll see that everything is coming in your life. Therefore, everything is a child of yours. Not so much picking and choosing that it must be like this or must be like this. Guruji takes this very beautiful story of that one evening when he was really tired of satsang and answering questions. And you heard the story. That one evening he was really tired and said, today is my off day. I'm just not going to meet anyone. I'm tired of all these questions. So he just locked the door, put on the bath, got in the bath. And as you would have it, this is life. So, got in the bath, within a minute, ting tong. Like, no. Today is my off day. But he just didn't get it. 2 more times, 3 more times, the bell rang, and they went away. Then he said to himself, something came intuitively. But who am I to decide what I have to experience? Who am I to take this call? He says, okay. If the doorbell rings again, I'm going to answer it and see what it is. And he says that he answered the door that day and some friends came and they had such a nice time. And she said it was one of the best evenings of his life. So it's a bit metaphorical, don't take it too literally. So just this acceptance, all of this that is arising is an aspect of my own being. And the universe is not messing up the recipe. It is the perfect chef. It knows how much salt, how much sugar. Our inclusiveness just expands and expands and expands. And everyone knows that unresisted anything, unresisted any perception, unresisted any thought, any emotion, unresisted, seems more manageable than that which is resisted. And even some doctors are doing these experiments of acceptance of pain and how accepted pain seems like for these patients who are suffering from severe pain and trauma. Accepted pain seems to them much more manageable than when the patients were resisting the pain. But acceptance can be misunderstood to sound like some sort of a personal acceptance. Acceptance for us in the broader definition means to see your spaciousness and see whether this spaciousness actually is dented by any quality of sensation that might come. And once you see that the spaciousness is infinite, boundless, and all things can come, then naturally acceptance is there. You don't have to, I'm going to accept. Not, that doesn't become a position or a strategy that I'm becoming an accepting person now.
This so much is burning is going on. What should I check? When I check, I can see for a moment of time that I'm this, I don't know, kind of out of the world doesn't exist at all. My attention is focused on, but attention is going on this pain body and thoughts, and I'm resisting and I'm again going back. So the body is going on, and I can't say that this is inside me and it is not affecting me at the same time. I'm honest, I can't say that right now.
That's why for you what you have to do is wait for me to tell you when to inquire. You don't get into this too fast. You'll get there. You've been there before, you know. The insight can be very direct. But right now you just focus on what we said. Don't have to struggle, don't have to be in a rush to. When I feel like there's enough space now for the looking, for the direct inquiry.
The mind is going fast.
Yeah, mind is going
There's so much body. I don't know what to do. Now I'm trying nothing. Stay. I literally last year I was stayed as a being, and it's very amazing. Something just dropped. Something just dropped, and I can literally see what Guru is speaking. Yeah. So actions are happening, emotions are coming and going. I'm talking and I'm listening myself talking. Everything was happening. And I was like, last night. But today morning, I meditated twice. And my mind is like, I'm trying. Staying as self and trying. But what should I do? Everyone, like, I talked to someone, it's very good. He was trying to guide me through that. So helplessness, what should I do now? And everyone is saying that don't resist. The more you resist, the more I can't not do the resist. What should I do? No.
If I say nothing, I know the mind will say I can't do nothing also. So I feel like I don't know what changed between the last time when we met and last night. It seemed like a beautiful experience also came. See? Now sometimes when a beautiful experience can come, that the mind can use that also as a benchmark and say, okay, no, but what I was doing before was not so great, but now I was seeing that, oh, this is what Guruji is saying. There's, a, there's just one being and everything is happening. Exactly.
But again,
Now this morning, this anxiety is back. So a bit of this Mahabharata is happening. Sometimes the good guys are winning. What is it? We saw Star Wars. So sometimes the force is winning, and sometimes the dark side. And the play of the world is the yin and the yang. All these opposite qualities is what makes up this world.
mind is like stamping, like you're stuck permanently.
But the mind is giving you one stand. Your direct experience was another thing. What was more potent? You believe what the mind is saying more, or your own direct insight?
It depends when you ask me.
Yeah.
Right now, mind is strong, so I have to say that mind, I have to listen to mind. But if you would ask me yesterday,
Yes, of course.
that's the problem. It depends what is my state at that moment.
So I'm the messenger for that side. You see, for that side, that experience of that insight, which is so direct for you. What the mind is saying is just a judgment. It is what your experience was, what your insight was present in that moment, wasn't it? It was not dependent on any projection of the future or anything that happened in the past. If you would not have had any spiritual experience in the past also, that experience would just have been what it was, isn't it? So this is the power of insight. But now what your mind is saying, is it independent of past or future?
Mind is like frustrated. Just
Yes. It is like you're stuck. Nothing is going to happen.
You're stuck. It's not listening to me. Not listening to you.
You're not.
Not listening to anyone. It's so much. I don't know what to do. So scared of, even like 5 minutes of.
So because of that beautiful insight, you drop the chanting now, or what happens?
It just dropped and this chanting around, yeah. Now you said I have to chant something.
So it happens many times. The prasad of our sadhana can be experienced this way. And that prasad itself can seem like, oh, I just want to hang on to that. And that would seem to have brought the peace in our worldly experience. That seems to again get pushed to the background.
When I chant now, I can see that there is a fearful part of me who is using it as a painkiller. And that is why I was avoiding it. I wasn't feeling completely free because I was like, the attack comes.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it's your lifetime practice. This is like you're struggling from a disease. And this is the antibiotic for that disease. You're suffering from fear. And there are some vibrational qualities which can help you get over that fear. That's all.
Mind is like you have to.
See, on one hand, your mind wants to be the superstar. You want to be that which you can operate without crutches. In the next moment, it says you should just commit suicide. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't want to be just regular. It's either like, I want to be spiritual superstar, I have to see God, and I should not depend on any crutches. Wants to take on this bravado. And the next minute, he loses all hope and says, no, there's no point. You can see this. Very opposite extreme thing. You have to stay a little bit is what I'm saying.
Even when there is. I'm sorry.
No?
Even when there is no.
Yeah, that's why I sent you the article. It's not a prescription which only I have. Many great ones who are not necessarily even just spiritual, but have used the same to get over to remedy their fears. Yeah, but you tasted that also. It does.
I think that no hopes of succeeding in the future.
So whenever you get little bit where you feel like, okay, this much I'm out of that, use that as an opportunity to deepen yourself in that. See? It can be like that. The minute we get some space, it can feel like, no, I want to like get to the absolute now. Just like, but this is like, Father doesn't tell this to anyone. I don't want to be like that. Really? But it's not. There's nothing good or bad. It is just what is prescribed is based on present condition.
It will stay there like a whole lifetime. I won't be able to.
Yeah. But in that itself, it is avoiding what is remedying it very, very well, very, very quickly also. Now the notion of you will be stuck in this, itself is avoid that directly in your own experience, which is remedied, deleted, softened, and so well.
But Father, staying as parents will also help me.
Yes.
But
to do that,
I like helpless. My friend was on the call. He was like, just stay with yourself. That's it. Things should come and go. Everything, it felt like I'm dying. And he was on the call. Just believe me for one second. Just focus your attention on your easiness. Again, daddy. Something happened, and I was like, I'm seeing myself moving, I saw myself talking, I was eating, everything was happening. The whole night was so peaceful, I could see everything what he was speaking at that point of time. So I was like, Ram was this after big protest, after that.
whatever feels more natural to you in that moment. But I would say that having had some experience with those who are very this one is much simpler. The moment you get, then soon you will see that they are not exclusive. Soon you will see that they are not exclusive. They are in the fruit of the remembrance of the Lord is self is apparent. So it's not this versus that. This versus the distinction. But it is what is the bridge? What is the seeming path I'm using? Because I seem to feel that I'm at some distance. So just stay with this few days.
How can I chanting is expectation of to stop it. That's called more trouble. Check-in, chanting, gone. That is so how to avoid the checker because the checker is so terrible.
But that remembrance, that holy chant with you itself will take care of that, as it has been done already a few times.
It's my father so much irritation because of all this happening. So right now also I can see when this attack comes yesterday, afternoon was there, today was also there. So neither I can listen to your words, nor I can like pradhana, puja or chanting. Even everything. Irritation. I can feel love. So how to love you without getting to the irritation?
Yeah, be irritated for a few days.
But the mind is throwing fear that father will leave you because I'm not following the
So, that's what I said even when you came, that just allow yourself to be as natural as you can. Anger is coming, let it come. Irritation is coming, frustration is coming.
fear of judging you. I'm not following the Satsang routine stuff. It's not intentional or so much irritation for all this spiritual, religious words, bhajan, puja, and even when we are talking in the satsang, there's so much irritation. I was trying to see myself untouched, and I can't. That is this Star Wars, that all of us. So it felt like every option is closed.
Yeah, very true. That's why I'm reminding you that when you saw from pure insight, without judgment, you saw that what is being spoken in satsang is true. And to take the opposite position needs a judgment about something. To take the opposite position, that this might not work, I might be stuck in this forever. All of this needs a notion, needs a concept of belief or judgment about something. Okay? Now, that's why I'm saying that the truth is more powerful because just naturally it is what you are. That's what you saw last night. It is naturally what you were.
So natural.
Yeah.
More than natural.
More than natural. Exactly. It did not need any judgment. It did not need any doing. Nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly.
It just felt like because I was new to that place, I had to keep myself there. Just that much effort was there. But even when I was there, it felt effortless. But when I came out for some daily stuff, it felt effort to go back there. But when I'm there, it is effortless. So you know what I mean. So that I could see that inside naturally.
So this is inside naturally. And the state of fear, whether this is going to come and go, is a judgment which is unnatural. I'm saying that which is natural is stronger because it just doesn't need any help. That which is judgment, it relies on some conclusion, is unnatural, is more effort. So you will tire of that which is unnatural. And the naturalness is so apparent to you. Can we tire of that which is natural? Can we tire of that which is effort? It takes you again to this natural simplicity of non-resistance, of just openness. Beautiful.
I had to put effort. Even I had to put effort to reach that state. It wasn't natural. But when I was there, it felt natural.
Right now, I don't want to push you because what can happen is that if we go through the inquiry together and the mind is very resistive, then lose that opportunity or that fear that comes up to make you even more averse to inquiring. So I don't want to do any forcing.
Even right now, if you suggest me to just stay, and even that is resisting.
Oh, 6:30. What happened today? Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.